Hello, welcome to our tutorial on how to record instructional video for your students. We've got two things that I think you should keep in mind. The first thing you're going to want to remember is to plan ahead. Planning ahead is going to require that you take some time to look in your album and think about what lessons that you have in your album that would translate really well to this format. Something that doesn't require a lot of manipulatives that the children won't have access to. Now, it doesn't mean you can't use any manipulatives. There may be some things that you could invite your children to gather together before they come to the lesson. Simple things, maybe from your cultural album that they may have access to in their kitchen, or maybe there's a quick little geometry material that they could cut up and have with them and be prepared with a few triangles for your lesson. You can definitely invite them to a story that would spark some spontaneous activity and some research. So again, like we said, it's really important that you plan ahead and think about what kind of content is going to translate well. The second thing that's really important for you to remember is to make this personal. Now, it would be really easy for us to all create a bunch of videos and share them out with each other. And I'm going to use these three videos and let my children see those, even though it's not me as the teacher, it's somebody else. And those may be great videos, but we'd really like to encourage you to use those as ideas, but go ahead and still record the video yourself. These are the children that you've been working with. These are the children that you've connected with. You're going to have a chance to say something in the lesson that you might relate back to something that happened earlier in the school year, and that's going to make the children feel like they're all together, that they're a part of this community still, and that's really important. And that can translate in this video, especially if you're able to just imagine who the children are that you're speaking to. You can picture them. Their mannerisms. How they, bring themselves to a lesson. And so think of this no differently than you would if you're inviting them, to be with you in a lesson in your classroom environment. So again, be prepared. If there's materials that you have that you are going to need in order to present, have those with you so that those can show up really well when you're presenting and you don't have to run off and grab them. Again, just like in the classroom, you've got them sitting there right beside you and you're ready to go. And then also make it personal. How can you make sure that you are providing a sense of connection for these children during this time? So thank you again, and we wish you the best of luck.
From an instructional design perspective, there are three things to think about. The first one is to keep it short. And the reason you want to keep it short is one, we know that the longer the video is, the less likely learners are going to watch the whole video. So if a video is about 4 to 6 minutes, chances are pretty good that the learner is going to watch the whole video. But the longer the video gets, the shorter the amount of time that learners will watch it. And the other reason why it's really important to keep video short is because in a face-to-face setting, you have interaction going on with the students. And so it's not just a one-way street. You are watching what they're doing. You're determining the length of your lesson based on this, how the students are reacting. Are they fidgety? Are they engaged? You can also engage the learners through questions, through having them use manipulatives. And so they're not just passively watching, but they're actually engaging with what's going on. But in a video, you're just pushing content to them. And so you want to keep it short because that way the brain can really concentrate for that short amount of time. And 4 to 6 is really what we know to be ideal for teaching content. The second thing is to think about one idea per video. And the reason why you want to keep one idea per video is, first of all, because it's going to help you keep it short. If you start to have more content, then the video is going to get longer. The other reason why you want to keep it short is because if you have one piece of content per video, then your learners can easily go back and rewatch just the piece that they need. Or you can suggest to learners to go back and watch just a specific piece. If you're covering multiple things in a video, they have to find just the piece that they're looking for. But if you have a topic for each video and you have 3 short videos instead of 1 long, then your learner can easily just go to the one specific thing that you want. And the other thing to think about for just one topic and short is that learners tend to remember, we all tend to remember the beginning and the end of a video. So if you're covering 3 or 4 topics and your video is 15 to 20 minutes, your learners are going to remember really well the thing that you covered at the end. And they're going to remember okay what you covered at the beginning, and they're probably not going to remember at all what you covered in the middle. And so rather than make a long video where just part of it is going to be memorable, you create a short video and then the entire component or the entire thing that you're teaching is memorable. And then the third thing to keep in mind is to end with action. And so certainly you can add after the video, you can share, email a document, or have some kind of a tool that learners can use. But in addition to that, I would in the video itself say, now that you've learned this, do this thing. And so the reason for doing that is that in a video, I mentioned before, it's passive. You're pushing content to the learner. And so you want as quickly as possible for the learner to engage in using what you've just taught them. And so it could be that you're asking them to just think about a question. Maybe they're jotting down ideas in a journal. Maybe it's an experiment. There's all kinds of different things that you can do. Maybe they're creating their own manipulatives. Maybe they're sharing ideas with you for how they engaged with this, and that's how you're asking them engage. But you want to take it from you sending them information to them using the information. And so I'm going to end my section of this video by saying what I want you to do is just open up your camera and create a video. Don't try to make it perfect for your first time out. Just open it up, spend a few minutes, and create something that is an educational lesson, and keep your students, your learners in mind as you do it.
Hi, I'm Jim. Here are some tips if you're going to record yourself for a video. First, make sure that your desktop, tablet, laptop, smartphone is in a fixed position. It shouldn't move. Make sure your eyes are in line with the camera on the device. The simple rule is don't look down or up to the lens. You're having a conversation with someone. Meet them eye to eye. You may have to place a cardboard box or some books under the device. If you're using a smartphone, always shoot with the device in a landscape or horizontal position. This way, anything you want to show fits in the screen.
If your device is too far away, you'll have too much headroom and you'll look small in a shot. Remember, you need to be the most predominant thing. So bring your device closer to you, about arm's length away. That way, you'll get great audio. And remember to record in a quiet room.
If you're using a desktop, there's a good chance you can't move it easily. So don't. It'll be fine. But think about the stuff behind you. Maybe your viewer's eyes will wander and not pay attention to what you're talking about. So maybe a little straightening is in order. There we go. Nice and simple.
If all you have is a blank wall, that's fine as long as it's light colored. As you begin to experiment, you can add more items from your home so people know more about you. Most importantly, a window behind you or in any part of the frame will cause a hotspot, and the camera lens will begin to close. Just avoid windows.
Finally, lighting. It's the trickiest part. Well, maybe not. All you need to do is make sure that there's a light source above and behind your camera shining on your face to eliminate shadows and to separate you from the background. You don't need a strong spotlight. Something soft will do just fine. Some of my favorite locations are the dining room or kitchen table. I bet there's a light above each of those tables at your place. Lamps work well also. Just remember to remove the shade, use a frosted bulb or two, and keep it close.
If you have a desk or a table by a window, you can use the outdoor light source as long as it's not direct sunlight.
Your home has lots of locations and you'll look great. Just keep these tips in mind. Remember to record several versions of your video, then pick the best cut. Okay? Good luck.
Hey, we hope this was helpful, and we look forward to maybe catching a glimpse of some of your lessons. If you have any ideas that you want to share, any thoughts that you'd like to pass along, maybe some sample videos that you'd like to let the rest of the community see, head on over to AMS Connect in the teachers section and share these ideas that you have about sharing video with your learners. Thank you very much.